Where there's more action more than ever. Here's a look at a historic trade deadline here in 2025. 26 players traded in season. That's the most in the past quarter century. Big names like Sauce Gardner, Jets offloading big time. I'll give you one more note here. Teams to make the Super Bowl have made an in-season trade in 11 straight seasons entering this season. Back here with the fellas to go over winners and losers. We'll start with winners, and we start with Pete Prisco.
I love what the New York Jets did. Look, your team stinks with the guys you had, so why not get rid of the expensive guys that help be part of the stink? And you traded them away, and you end up with three first-round picks. Now you have 5 over the next 2 years, and you got a second-round pick to go with it. You are loaded up. You know what you need? Find a quarterback, build it around that guy, and all of a sudden, if you get the right quarterback, and we know the Jets haven't had great success drafting quarterbacks, if they get the right quarterback, sustainable success will come based on what they did today.
They become the Oklahoma City Thunder of the NFL, just acquiring all these picks right here.
Sam Presti.
How'd that work out for him?
Eventually worked out, but for a long time it was like, could Presti use them? There's a look at all the draft capital that they've acquired over the next 2 years, in addition to theirs as well. Rand, winner for you.
Is that a misprint?
No, that is the real deal. For me, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys, and simply because we put so much focus, so much emphasis in terms of them needing pass rush on the edge. And they went the opposite way and got a guy that can be disruptive. Whether he gets home on the sack or not, we'll see that. But having that interior disruptor, like Kyle mentioned earlier, that's the quickest way to the quarterback. And now you have a guy that can not only help defend the run, which they've been bludgeoned in the run game, in their run defense. And so now you have a guy in Quentin Williams who can disrupt, and now he can push the quarterback off the spot to those guys coming off the edge. We saw Clowney be disruptive last night. Donovan Ezra-Who had a sack last night. And so these guys are starting to come around, and now you add that piece in there. And then on the back end of that, behind him, you add Logan Wilson, who's been a solid, steady player from his time in Cincinnati, and is one of the better coverage linebackers. He has 11 career interceptions. And so now you add a guy back there to go with Kenneth Murray, and you'll be getting DeMarvin Overshawn back here in a couple weeks. And so now you have some athleticism and some speed on that second level of that defense.
So again, just before we move on to Kyle's winner, we were sort of establishing whether this move helps the Cowboys now. Pete, I think you already said not this year, moving forward.
Well, I think they're in a big hole right now.
Right. So they're not out of it yet. But
no, but they're not eliminated. But looking at that schedule, do you see them making a run? I don't.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Kyle, what do we think?
Not making a run, but I'll tell you what, they got better as a football team.
Yeah, they did.
Jerry Jones wasn't lying.
Nope.
Yeah, and again, that strong emotion of hope.
You're right. Good call on that one. Kyle, your winner is?
My winner is the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this is a team that has shown up in just absolutely Mike Tyson teams all season long. I mean, they've bludgeoned football teams, and they're going to get better on the defensive side of the ball. Sam Darnold has looked the part all year. JSN, incredible. And now they add Rashid Shaheed, and he gets the opportunity to run by a lot of defenses. And with all the threats underneath for this football team, Clint Kubiak, you and I both know Clint Kubiak, he wants to go downtown with it, but he doesn't. Yeah. He hasn't had the express train in his huddle. Now he gets the express train in Rashid Shaheed. I would say change the number, though. 22, that looks terrible.
Bad number.
You're going to see 22 in Seattle.
But this team, who has been one of the biggest surprises of the football season, gets even better. And I think it's going to be awesome for this team. They won the trade deadline.
Yeah, we looked it up. No single-digit numbers available for Shaheed if he's trying to get that done.
There's probably something in the 80s.
He's not going to want that.
No, not at all.
This is not 1989.
Is 22 a number?
Is 22 a good number
with
for
these kids? I don't know, man.
You just never know with these.
They can go all over the place. All right, let's go losers now. Kyle, we're going to go right back at you. Indianapolis Colts.
Yep, the Indianapolis Colts. And, I mean, 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. I mean, I have a hard time thinking that that's the right move. Look, I understand that your back's against the wall as a management, and you need to prove to this fan base, you need to prove to this team that you're willing to do whatever it takes to go win this division, go have a shot at a playoff run. But this ain't it. 2 first-round picks. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Is that the phrase, Pete? And that, to me, spells loser.
Robin Peter Prisco.
Robin Peter
right.
Prisco.
Don't you dare.
We got to find a Paul now to pay.
My brother.
Yeah, there you
a
go.
brother.
There you go.
Still have 2 losers left to go.
We'll
Ray,
do the
I'm gonna-
Robin, by the way.
I'll come to you. Who's your loser?
I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for me, it's the simple fact I would have loved to see them target Jacoby Myers. And I thought he would have been a really good compliment to DK Metcalf because to me, he is an upgrade over Roman Wilson. We know Calvin Austin can be a viable threat in the slot, but he's a little guy. And now you would have given Aaron Rodgers a bigger target who is going to be a crisp route runner, who's going to be where he's supposed to be and catch the football. And then that allowed DK to open up things downfield. I would have loved to see that addition to the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Pete?
Buffalo Bills. In large part because I think what Seattle did to get the speed in their offense, the Bills needed to do. I would have gone out and got Shaheed if I were the Buffalo Bills. I would have made that happen and added him to the offense because he's a field stretcher. And I know they always say we don't need a number 1 wide receiver, and Shaheed's not a number 1 wide receiver. He's a complimentary guy. But he gives them something they don't have.
Traits.
Field stretcher. He can go down the field. And everybody plays the Bills, you know, with the force field at 25 yards, and at some point that's
They'll run by it.
That's gonna be a problem for them, and so I'm disappointed in that. The other part of it is, you look at the defensive line. You know, you could have made a move to try and get help on the defensive line. They lost Michael Hoyt the other day with a torn Achilles, and you know they're going to get guys back, but they need. It would be nice to have had another guy. Why not call on Trey Hendrickson? I mean, if Trey Hendrickson was available and you could get him for a 3, wouldn't you do that if you were the Buffalo Bills?
100%.
Bills were 31st in the NFL in rush per yards at 5.4, given that what you guys talked about in terms of need. There's the graphic right there. It's like I spoke it to existence.
Voila.
A couple of other, though, teams and situations. We did hint and touch upon Kansas City, and we will again, but we haven't really talked about the 49ers, which had the fewest sacks through 9 games with only 11 since 1974. It ran a team that you know well. Did it surprise you that John Lynch and company didn't make a lot of move or a move so far in the depth?
Listen, we're both Niner guys here, Tommy, and I'll just say this. It's only so many moves you can make. They've traded for 3 guys, I believe, already to help them on the edge, and guys just keep getting hurt, and there's nothing you can do. At some point, you just have to say, you know what, guys, we've been aggressive trying to address this position, and we just keep getting guys to go down. We just got to trust our developmental program, our practice squad, and hopefully find someone on the street. But at this point, you can't keep giving away draft picks to solve it right now.
Big injuries, Bosa, and latest Michael Williams, so it's certainly been tough for San Francisco. Robert Saleh's been nice to come back from a coordinator perspective. Kyle, Kansas City, we were talking briefly about maybe addressing the running back position, whether it was Pacheco, Hunt. It didn't just seem like the running back group has been a big key to that offense. They want to go deep. They want to have Rice and Worthy and Thornton out there. What do you think about the champs, AFC champs staying put?
I think explosion at the running back position, particularly in Kansas City, is a luxury that is just that. It's a luxury. It's not a necessity. And I think with the way that Patrick can expand plays with his legs and the ability to have so many short at the line of scrimmage passes, those are extensions of the run game. They don't need superstars at the running back position, but when a guy like Pacheco is healthy, you get that explosion there. Look, I don't think it's priority number 1 right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they have to shore up their run game at the line of scrimmage with their offensive line before they can worry about who to give the ball to.
Yeah, I would have liked to, and I agree with you. I didn't think they had to hit the home run and go and get a Breece Hall type of guy. But I do think they need to address that running back position because Patrick Holmes is the 3rd leading rusher, and he's only 44 yards away from the leading rusher, and that guy has 31 more attempts than Patrick Mahomes. And so anytime Patrick Mahomes is that close to being your leading rusher, that lets you know you have an issue there, and that position needs to be addressed. But like you said, it doesn't have to be the home run hitter because they, in all their success they've had, they've never really had the home run hitter. You just need that guy that's going to be there to get those 12 to 15-yard runs or keep you ahead of the chains, which makes that offense even more dangerous.
Well, they do have the rookie, Smith.
For sure, he can play.
Yeah, and I think as he gets going a little bit more, I think he's going to become a bigger part of the offense. And you know, he can run inside the tackles. He's got the ability.
But you have to remember, even with him, he is a converted receiver who's in his 2nd year playing running back, and that's at the pro level. Now, where I like him is in that old Jet McKinnon role. You bring him in 3rd down, those option choice routes. Like, to me, I don't think there are going to be very many linebackers that can cover him once he gets more comfortable. And
he's got to be able to
Jet McKinnon, that was a good drop there.
He's got to be able to pick up the blitz, too, which I don't think he's been great at yet.
Yeah, they even flirted with Clyde Edwards-Helaire last week about getting him back on.
That was desperation.
That was
They're going to bring Pete in 2
Yeah,
weeks.
man.
They could play running back.
backs, you find them
Running back.
anywhere. You know that. Find them anywhere.
Quarterback, Pete Prisco.
Not at the
A
end of the
recap of today's NFL trades. If you missed it, again, we didn't really talk a lot about Joe Tryon, Shanika, but there we go. Some of the big names with Trevor Penning, right? And then playoffs loading. You can check the full article on CBSSports.com, but we're going to break it down right now. Kyle Long and Rand Carthon.
What's the matter? Looking for somebody on there?
That's crazy.
Who are you
would do
looking
that.
for?
You knew I was going to be on here, right?
Who are you looking for?
That's crazy.
Who
You
you
know who
looking
I
for?
was looking
Where
for.
are
The
they?
number 16 team,
Where-
the Chicago
yeah,
Bears.
yeah.
They're on their way.
Yeah.
Playoffs loading,
Okay.
Really?
buddy.
Dial-up internet loading, or
Yeah, 56K, 56.6K.
This thing takes forever.
Well, hey, Tampa Bay Bucks. Have you ever put an idle team on a bye week at number 1 before?
That's crazy.
There was a lot of crap that lost last week, didn't you? Think about it. 1, 2, and 3 all lost last week. Every single one of them. So when they lose, you fall down. And so you got to put somebody up, and I put the Bucks back up. I think the Bucks. Look, you know I've been a big believer in the Bucks the entire season. I don't think we've seen the best of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
True.
They're getting guys back, and when you get guys back, the offense has played the entire season without the right tackle, without the right guard. You look at the pass receivers; those guys have been in and out of the lineup. They're all coming back at some point. They haven't had Bucky Irving, and so when they get this whole group together, that offense is going to be dynamic. So I think they're still good right now. They're going to be even better. That's why I put them in the number 1
Pete,
spot.
8-11. Broncos, Packers, Chiefs, Lions. Is that closer than, like, is that like kind of a jumble? You just reach in and grab one and you have them ranked, or you really think the Broncos are better than all three of those teams?
I think right now the Broncos are better. I think, look, number 11 up is where I think you can get that's the real contenders to me. Because don't you think when you go down, the Chargers, the Vikings, Jaguars, I mean, all those teams have issues, even the Bears. But you go from 11 up, if you count the Lions, I think they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. So I think that's where all the contenders really are.
Yeah, because I mean, the Broncos defense is elite. I think we all know that. But to me, the difference between 9, 10, 11, and 8 is the trust factor in the quarterback.
Quickly, Pete, if the Chargers still had Alt, would you put them in that bucket?
If they had Alton Slater, I certainly would put them in the
Well,
bucket.
yeah, I mean, they're not going to have both.
I just think when you watch them, it's so haphazard now without their line.
I should have prefaced this, too. This was before the trade deadline.
Yeah,
but
the trade deadline didn't change it.
Okay, so Seattle is your number 3 team, given off the performance against the Commanders, and boy, they look good so far, especially in those throwback uniforms, too.
I said this earlier. People around the league think Seattle might end up being the best team right now. I mean, on their way to being the best team in the league. The only thing, and it's the only thing I see that could absolutely ruin their chances is if Sam Darnold somehow turned into the old Sam Darnold. And I don't see it happening. I think he's beyond that. Sam Darnold, look, last year for the Vikings, he was great. And then he had those 2 games at the end of the year where he turned into Sam Darnold. And you were wondering if that was going to be who he was. Well, he's proven this year that's not who he is.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I'm just waiting on your saying to come out.
You are what you are?
Pumpkin. Yeah.
But maybe
he also always puts Baker at this tier, and everybody else like a Geno Smith, a Sam Darnold.
Well, Geno Smith has showed who he is, right? I mean, you are what you are. But they made the right decision by getting Sam Darnold, letting Geno Smith walk. I don't think there's any question about that now. So you have your doubts. He has his doubts.
No, he was waiting. He was waiting for you to be on brand and say that you would have doubts about Sam Darnold.
Do you have any reservations that he might become Sam Darnold at some point?
No.
He is Sam Darnold. What do you mean become Sam Darnold?
The old Sam
Okay,
Darnold.
I got you.
Well, all I'll say is this. Last year in the regular season, we're seeing what we saw. We're seeing right now what we saw in the regular season last year.
Yes.
And when it mattered most.
The last 2 games.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, will we see that? I don't know. But I will say the thing
So
that
you do have reservations.
No, I do have some reservations because
Yeah.
I'm going off of what I've seen.
Right.
But what I'm saying, what makes this Seattle team even more legit is that defense.
Ooh.
And
Right.
this is a really good football team that plays complementary football, and they're very well coached. I love Mike McDonald and what he's doing there. And, I mean, John Schneider is one of the best GMs you can see. He's not waiting in terms of player acquisition. If there's a guy out there that they want, they're going to get him. And they're not making moves to win the popularity contest. They know what it takes to be in their system. So I don't have an argument for you with them at number 3. I'm not arguing that, but I just want to see the whole picture.
In the back of our minds, we're all concerned if Sam Darnold somehow
Right. He has
doesn't
to
play
prove
to
it. This
this
is what happened
level.
last
But that's
He's
why-
been fantastic.
But that's why, again, I asked from 8 to 11, the trust factor in the quarterback. And so if you look at all those quarterbacks, let's just go, I won't even say 7. Let's just say from 6 to 1. How would you rank the trust factor of the quarterbacks?
Rams first, and then I would go Josh Allen.
Bills first.
And then I would.
Bills.
We're going off trust factor with the quarterbacks?
Allen's one.
Matt Stafford's got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
So I'm going Rams first, and then I'm going Josh Allen, then I'm going Baker Mayfield, and then I'm going Drake May, and then I'm going Seattle Seahawks.
Now, if we threw in,
Sorry for partying.
yeah,
if we
but you
threw
also
in
left
7,
out Jalen Hurts, who won a Super Bowl.
Well, he
Well,
did.
then I'll go him next.
But if we threw in 7, how disappointing was the Colts against the Steelers? And
Well, and
Daniel
that
Jones?
goes back to the theory on Sam Darnold. I mean,
There's his quote.
Daniel Jones, was that a one-off of the new, improved Daniel Jones, or is that the start of Daniel Jones turning into Daniel Jones? I mean, it's a legitimate question.
No, it is, and I think it's a one-off because I think as a whole they got away from who they are.
Correct.
They didn't turn around and hand off the
No,
football
yeah.
to Jonathan Taylor because, in my opinion, I thought they felt like they were going to outsmart the Steelers and throw at that secondary that had been struggling instead of sticking to what you do best, which is feature Jonathan Taylor.
I agree. 4 carries in the first 3 drives is
He
inexcusable.
should have 4 carries on the first play.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Lastly, the Jags, nail-biting win over the Raiders, coming in at number 14.
Well, they're the number 7 team right now in the playoffs. They would be in. And
Crisco.
no, look, the injuries have really crippled them. It wouldn't surprise me if C.J. Stroud plays this week, the Texans beat them, and they'll fall back down. But I just think that they've been hit by injuries so
But
much.
Myers should help.
But you know what? But you know what?
Defender alert! That's a Frisco defender alert!
Hey, believe me, I'm as big a critic of that quarterback right there as anybody, and he played pretty good the other day after that terrible interception.
I'll say this, and you brought it up, C.J. Stroud and his availability this week. That's something for us to watch because it's really, you know this, it's really hard for you to clear concussion protocol in 1 week.
It's hard.
Unless you're like me and do a terrible baseline test so
That's
that
what the
you
smart
can just
ones
pass everything.
But we
I
thought
thought he got smarter after the concussion.
Hey, man, when we were watching that, we didn't think it was his concussion. We thought it was his shoulder,
yeah.
and it was a concussion. By the way, the schedules, if you look at them over the course of the rest of the season, the Colts schedule is brutal, and the Jaguars schedule is actually softening up. So
About a
keep
game
an
and a
eye
half
on that.
difference in the standings. Let's wrap things up quickly here with the back half of these tiers. Here's the I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim.
And then the Jeff Fisher, which is mid, which used to be 8-8. I don't know what you do in a 17
the Mike
game
Tomlin
season
tier.
here, but
Oh, there's a shot fired. Wow.
Am I wrong, dude?
and then down bad and dumpster fire, which we've seen these teams in the dumpster fire category off sell, and then the Cowboys
What about that
buy.
team? What about that team at 32? Anybody want to comment on that team? Nobody speaking up?
Check out the full article at CBSSports.com for Pete Frisco, Kyle Long, Rand Carthon. I'm Tommy Tran. Check them out. We'll see you next week. No, we're not. We're going to talk Cowboys. So, did you buy? And again, they're down bad, but these moves that they've made, are they back up off the mat?
No.
Hope.
No.
That's
Hope
it.
for the future, but not hope for now.
That was so well said.
That was well said.
That is.
That's
It
like
really
the Scorsese cinema.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
there with Jerry. Okay. Now we can wrap it up.
Jerry Jones on line 1. Yeah, Rand's interested.
Will McClay, you're doing a hell of a job, man.
He is doing a hell of a
Keep it
job.
up.
Will McClay's good at what he does.
Great at what he does.
Yes, he is.
Guys, certainly appreciate it. Again, check out CBSSports.com for.
我也是看到你们那个啥，不对吗？ Thank you.